guys know them as their characters from The Office. Allow me to welcome to the stage Creed Bratton, Oscar Nunez, Philadelphia's own Kate Flannery, and Rainn Wilson.
What's up, Philly? How you doing? Yo! Go to Wawa.
What do you think it is about the show? Like, what is it that just connects so many people to this series over all this time and just continues to build into it?
Well, I'll tell you. I think it's me. No. Greg Daniels, come here. Greg Daniels used to say, hey, we're making this show with 85% comedy and 15% kind of real human moments. But we never want to go over like 15%. Like it's almost all comedy, but there's enough of those kind of like beautiful human touches that have some emotion and heart and real character in them. And the writers paid a lot of attention to that 15%. And I really think that they just got that alchemy right. They got the
We did.
They got that balance of like it's really mostly comedy, but there's sometimes when it's going to break your heart and it's going to touch your heart and move you. And I think that's what kept folks coming back.
And Greg Daniels called me and said, we've got that lockdown. We've got the comedy, we've got the thing, but we need a little bit of je ne sais quoi, a little bit of sensuality, and that's where I come in. They called me up. They said, we need a demographic. You're going to be...
It's true.
And then Greg Daniels called me and said, we need someone to kind of look like shit. And I'm like, bring it on!
I also think it's a good show that shepherds kids who are like 12 and 13 into adulthood. For me, it was Monty Python. It's one of those shows you're watching Paw Patrol, and now you're watching a comedy, and you're like growing up and becoming an adult. And I think a lot of young teens like our show, and it ushers them into like, oh, I'm an adult now.
It treats the audience like they're smart people. So you guys are very smart people. And I was and in all seriousness, it's nice to represent normal people, like the unpretty people, right? The unpretty people of Pennsylvania.
No, that's cool. I'm all for that, but models need to be represented too. There's a place, you guys.
So I do want to turn it over to the audience, and if the audience does have any questions, please line up. There are microphones on both sides. But while everybody's lining up, I do have one final question, because it is something I have been curious about.
But wait, I have a message for the audience. Our favorite episode was the injury. Our favorite cold open stunt was when they moved Dwight's desk into the bathroom. Working with Steve Carell was amazing.
And we have no idea who the Scranton Strangler is. We don't know.
And Toby was the Scranton Strangler. And then any other questions you might have, we'll be happy to answer.
Oh, there we go.
Genius.
That's really good.
Hi, my name is Melissa, and I was wondering what your favorite prank on the show was played.
Favorite prank?
Yes.
You're kidding me, right?
We
It's a joke, right?
We didn't do pranks. We didn't do them.
Did you hear my introduction? Melissa, I love you. But I said, favorite episode, the injury. Favorite cold open was Dwight's desk in the bathroom.
That's a prank.
Toby was the Scranton Strangler, and Steve Carell was amazing to work with.
I'll
Thank
answer
you.
that question. I'll say Asian Jim.
No, Melissa, I thought perhaps you meant as cast members, did we perform pranks, put pranks on each other? We didn't. No.
Do you mean behind the scenes?
Sure.
Ah, see, behind the scenes.
So
Thank you for your question. Let's give her a round of applause.
No, let's boo her. Boo.
All right, let's switch over to this side here. What's your name and your question?
Hi, my name is Grace, and I wanted to ask you, like, who was your favorite guest star that appeared on the show?
Wow.
Mine was Idris Elba. What was his character name?
Charles Minor.
Charles. because he's really not a comedy guy. And he's not an American, and he bravely tried an American accent and comedy on a sitcom. And incredibly nice guy, so good looking. He made your eyes melt. It was really, I thought, a joy to have him on the show.
I
He's
enjoyed
awesome.
Chris Gethard.
I enjoyed Will Ferrell.
I actually enjoyed Timothy Oliphant, but a lot of people don't know that myself, Creed, had a chance. You may not know this either, guys. I had a chance to audition for Justified, and I still remember my line. Would you like to hear it? Do we have a problem, Raylan? I never got a call back.
Their loss.
Next question. Thank you.
All right, back over to this side. Your name and your question.
Hi, my name's Dave. This question is for Rainn. So your character in House of a Thousand Corpses famously had a not so good end. How would Dwight Schrute have done up against the Firefly family with his weapons training?
That should be the next Rob Zombie film, is Dwight versus the Fireflies. Yeah, I think just with a set of nunchakos and like 40 throwing stars, he would have taken them out. And it would have been a gruesome, bloody, and delightful battle. Great question. In fact, top 10 questions I've ever gotten at a convention.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Sheriar. I'm actually watching Office for the first time right now.
It's called The Office.
The Office.
Sorry, just to be clear, sorry.
And I'm
I got your
noticing
back,
that
dude.
as the seasons go on, you guys kind of acknowledge that, yeah, this is a pretty big show. When did you guys first realize that, hey, this is something huge and we're part of it?
It wasn't
That's
until
what
the
she said.
wasn't until the third season that I knew I was actually on a TV show. I thought I was actually working at a paper company that long.
I think when we went to the Golden Globes, whenever that was,
Yeah,
that
I was gonna say the
that was
first
a big
Emmys.
moment. That was
Yeah.
a big moment.
The first Emmys for me, because J.J. Abrams came up to me. I used to wait on him, and he's like, "You were our waitress. You're on the show."
You guys, we had a Q&A at the DGA, and people drove in from Texas for the Q&A, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" I remember thinking that, wow, these people drove from Texas to, so yeah, I think that was the second season.
Thanks, dude.
All right, back over here.
My name is Becca, and I watched this show when I was around 9 or 10. But what's your favorite character in the show?
Who
For
are you
me,
asking?
the old guy it's back. He's back in the back of the place. The old guy. I forgot his name.
I was gonna say the drunken from Pennsylvania. Sorry.
I like Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute. Those are my favorite characters.
I think Michael Scott is the greatest TV character ever made.
Amen. I agree.
And it's a travesty that he didn't win the Emmy. I'm just going to say
It
it.
is,
It's an
it is.
absolute
I agree with that.
travesty.
It's bullshit.
All right, thanks for your question. We'll go back here over to the side. Your name and your question.
Hey, my name is Aiden, and my question is there a storyline or a scene that you wish would have been done in the show?
There is, I have a script in my desk for a missing Office episode that we never shot. It was written during season 1, and the episode was scrapped, and it was called Pet Day. And everyone in the office brought in a pet, and Dwight brought in a wolf. And we should 100% have shot some version of Pet Day.
Rainn, how did you get that script?
I'm not telling.
I remember the script. I remember that one. And I thought it would have been funny too.
Great question.
Yeah, good, really good question.
Thank you.
Okay, question.
All right, back over this side here. Name and question.
Hi, I'm Colin. I have a question for Oscar. What was going through your head in the Gay Witch Hunt episode when you got kissed by Steve Carell?
I wish I should have had a mint because I had coffee breath. And I'm like, oh no, Steve's gonna hate me. No. What was going through my head was his nose was getting closer and closer to my nose, and I kept thinking, pick a side, left or right. Because when you hug someone, right, you have to, and I'm thinking, pick a side, Steve, pick a side. And I'm like, oh shit, he's not picking a side. He's not. And then he kissed me, and I went, I did one of these, and I almost spit up in his, back in his mouth with laughter. But I held it together because I knew if I blew that scene and they go cut, then we would have to do it again, and then everyone would know what was coming. So that was legit, surprise. He didn't tell anyone. He's the best. He took a flat scene and he made it an iconic, inappropriate, a typical office scene. You can clap for that answer. You're allowed to clap.
Thank you for your question.
I have a question for Rainn. So, you know the famous saying, Bears beats Battlestar Galactica? So, do you actually like Battlestar Galactica is my question.
Henry, thank you for that question. Here's a little fun fact. You're doing a great job. You can have this button. Thanks. His signing is okay. I mean, he gets the general gist of it, but he's missing some of the nuance, especially in his left hand. Henry, how old are you?
9.
You're way too young to watch The Office or to be at this convention.
I know.
You have terrible parents.
I know. They're awesome.
So, Creed is a wonderful father, and if you would like, well, the first of all, I just want to say to everyone, people always ask me to write or say Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, but you know that was a Jim line, right? Dwight never said that line. Just fun fact. I loved Battlestar Galactica. The first version in the 70s, I watched every episode, the original, and the remake, I loved. I watched every episode. I love those shows. And right now, they're rebooting Battlestar Galactica. They're going to do the third iteration, the third version of it. So, peace.
Henry, thank you for your question, buddy.
I know we only have a couple minutes left, so let's try and get one more from each side before we wrap up. So let's go over to the side here. What's your name and your question?
My name is Mariah, and my question is, so if you're a true Office fan, you've watched The Office through so many times you probably can't even keep count. I started watching in 4th grade and haven't stopped since. So my question is, how many times have you guys watched the series through? Have you even watched the full series through multiple times?
I've watched it once. I was in Toronto shooting, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and I watched it.
You binged it. You binged it.
The whole thing. What's that?
So you binged it after, because you
I
watched it while it was on.
I binged it
Yeah,
once.
You binged it once.
And I found 2 episodes that were and the rest were good or really good. I was so proud. I'm like, all right, we because people were like, it's so good. I'm like, was it? Yes, it was, Oscar. Yes, it was.
I haven't watched all of them, but I've heard really good things about it.
I watched every episode the week it came out on the TV.
I'm with him.
And then my son started watching some of it about 2 or 3 years ago. So with him, I watched maybe 20 more of the episodes, and then that's it.
I'm pretty much the same. Yeah, seriously. My boyfriend's kids started watching it, but I have not. I've yet to.
Were you watching
yet to
TV
binge.
with my son?
No, my boyfriend's. You're not my boyfriend. You know, my boyfriend Chris and I were like the real Jim and Pam. We started dating we met season 1, but we didn't start dating till the end of season 2. It's all about me, you guys. I'm from Philly. Whoa! Wah wah. Sorry. So tired, you guys.
I think
was
the
at
motto
Phillies
for
game.
Philadelphia should be, Philadelphia, the 9th best American city.
Security?
New
He's
York.
going to need some security to get out.
Chicago, LA, Boston, Washington, D.C., Seattle, San Francisco, Houston, Cleveland, Philadelphia. The 9th best city in America.
Winning hearts, Rainn, winning hearts.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Philadelphia. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you for the love.
Thank you, Philadelphia.
Thank you.
How about one more big round of applause?
Love you guys.